niggas first, family over money. Kingpin dreams, trap house jumping. Got my paper right, they can't tell me nothing. Grand all winning, fucking up the summer. Do it big time, might go get a Hummer. Even though you lying, tell me that you love me. If you really.
What up, though? Welcome to another game of Free Game. Today, I got my boy Big Money Van Dennis in the house. How you doing today, big dog?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. How about you? It's good to see you, by the way, too, bro. It's been a while.
Yeah, man. Likewise, man. Likewise, man. Man, you a bad motherfucker, bro. You know? Hey, for real, though. Like, not even to gas you. When I, Renee was one of the first people I interviewed here. I posted Jordan first, but Renee was one of the first people I interviewed here. And, you know, I met all you guys at the same time, you know?
That's crazy you did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At his event. And, you know, like, bro, like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I came up to you afterwards, like, listen, dog, it's inspiring seeing a dark-skinned brother tatted up doing this shit, bro. So, I was wondering, let's back up. Bro, like, what was the beginning like for you moving into entrepreneurship? Because you used to be one of the most talented football players in California at a certain point in time, right?
Yeah, man. That was my passion. That was my passion. Now was like sports, and it was really football. Like football was my way out. I was a little book smart, not too book smart. I just loved learning, so I was always curious about stuff.
Get closer to the mic.
Okay, how's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Man, I know they're saying like football was my passion, and I was super dedicated to it. I mean, I'm talking about like I was so strict on how I was eating, the lifestyle, even like who I was around and some stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to go 10 to 5. That was like my way. I knew that the bag was there. I knew that there's so much more endorsements, all this other business that could happen based off of that. I was already thinking like business minded. I was already thinking like, you know what? I was already thinking like, hey, if I take this route, I'm able to open a business, have all these endorsement deals, also make the money, be able to get my mom her dream place and dream car and all that. That was like always my goal. And when I got injured, that's when things like changed, and also some family stuff happened to me as well. That made me think, you know, I gotta get a job. And the best job I knew at the time to get was sales. So I went into sales, and I just love that process because it kind of gave me like, hey, like this is my pipeline. I make my own prospects. I'm able to make my own money if I do these sales correctly. Make more than what the average wage was.
Yep.
And I love the whole process. I love the structure. I love that it was organized. I'm big on like organization. So I was my first job was that was like a sales job was at Sunglass Hut, which is like at every mall. And I like that we had to wear suits. You had to dress up, so you kind of come prepared. You look good. You feel good.
Yep.
You play good type things. I like that. And took that and then went from that sales job to like working for SaaS companies. So SaaS is a really big spark in the world.
Well, question for people who don't know what SaaS is. What is a SaaS company?
So SaaS is software as a service. So you're looking at any type of technology application that makes it could be B2B or D2C. And so it's just technology-based companies in a sense.
Got you.
So look at any type of app, social media app, or Turo, Airbnb, all these different are like SaaS businesses pretty much. And I was working for that as a sales. So I'm from sales in that space to marketing in that space, and that's when light bulbs started hitting me because all this really happened because I was seeing the marketing team be really close to the CEO. And I was like, man, the sales guys were the ones that are like really pumping the sales into this business, but we weren't getting treated the same. The marketing team was in the conference room, really personal, really close with the CEO. His name was John for this company called Hammer Corp, and that's when I was like, I need to get closer to this guy. And I was like, the only way to get closer if I learn marketing and bring up marketing ideas to him that will work for the company.
How old were you at this time when you started to think like this?
Oh man, I was. Let me think here because it was some years ago. This was like, I was probably like 23, 24.
Oh, so you started like in your early 20s.
Yeah, because I stopped playing football at like 20 years old.
Got you. So like, did you go to college and get hurt?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I got hurt in college during a fucking spring practice.
Man, it's
annoying.
That fucking sucks. Man, so all right, so the story continues. Like you see that the marketing team is the ones next to the CEO, and you see that's where you want to, that's where you need to start trying to put yourself around. Where's everything go from there?
Man, so I just really the first entrepreneur that was like a guru online that really was studying a lot, which is crazy, was Grant Cardone, because I was in the sales space and a lot of his stuff, a lot of his packaging stuff that he was selling was for like big like sales mentorship programs that he was mainly, I feel like, selling to like big corporation companies or like other sales teams that had like car dealerships, stuff like that for their sales guys. So I was looking into his stuff. At that time, Ty Lopez was obviously using his keywords and his name to retarget on YouTube ads. So I started seeing Ty Lopez stuff. He was just obviously talking about like the social media marketing stuff like that, and I got that then because I already had started like this. My first like business, say my business venture was with this company called Elite Tech, which was selling like Facebook. I was going to say Facebook, like face mask visors for football helmets, right? So the company was based out of San Diego as well. The owners were only selling on Amazon, and the sales weren't doing that well. So I was telling them like, hey, we could take this, build this on Shopify, and we'll run ads through social media. I was like, all your customers, your avatar, your ideal client is there. So why aren't we advertising there? Most of these kids are not all going on Amazon to search for, Facebook, football helmet visors. So we did that. I had to like keep, begging these guys, be like, look, like this is what it is. This is how we do it. Trying to talk, because they're kind of old heads. They made so much money on Amazon. They weren't really trying to hear what this little black kid was saying.
For sure.
Lucky I had to tie in with them. My best friend Zach, who's my best friend today, is my brother. He lives in Cali still. His dad was friends with these guys, so that's how we got in. And they kind of gave us like, here's like 500. You guys do this, and if you guys could sell these, then it's good.
Like here's 500 units?
Yeah, he gave us like 500 units.
Okay.
And so we were just like, we were doing everything, like guerrilla marketing. So we weren't just trying to do online space. We were actually begging Zach's dad, hey, like let us get some money like on a credit card to run ads. We're taking this to all these football camps. We had tied in because obviously we played football in Cali. Sure. So we knew like where the 7-on-7 events were. We knew where the tournaments were going to be. So we'll set up shop there just to let people see and feel them, because obviously we're not as big of a brand as Nike or Adidas or Under Armour that most people are used to seeing, but our shit was tight. So we were like, people are going to want these. And we were selling them like crazy. Like, we were selling them for like 20 to like $35, which was affordable, for a face mask. And those were flying. And then we started setting up the shop. We started doing this was like our first content. So we're like, hey, we got to shoot ads. This is like, it's so funny because like this video is somewhere on my Facebook, like way back. And we had put on we went to a studio. I put on football gear, and we were just like, I was just running routes, doing drills with the face mask, the visor on. And I would never forget that because I was so happy with we weren't even making any money, but I was just so happy with oh, this is a thing. Like this is really a thing. And it gave us purpose in a sense, because both of us stopped playing football and we both were we still need to get the bag, and we went on this journey and we were busting and grinding and driving with all these units in the back of our car, and just it was just something that was giving us purpose, but making us, we were putting in that time. We were failing a lot, but we were learning a lot on that same time,
Amen.
And those learning lessons are always something to keep. But just moving forward with that, we finally got the Shopify store up. We edited our content that we had, and we put it up there, and we sold about nothing crazy, but we did around $10K in sales. But that was a huge deal to us. That was almost like doing 100K, because we were like, oh, this shit really works.
Exactly. I was just about to ask. So was that your first win with Shopify?
That I would say here's the thing though. We didn't get all the money because we had to give the guys that own the actual company the money.
Yeah, of course. But I'm talking as far as you generating your first sales with Shopify.
Yeah. That was I would say that was my first. I do have another venture after that. That was really I was like okay,
what was that like?
That one was dope. So this one was based. This is kind of I really kind of started understanding that there's more to this than just even building brands online. Well, no, I really was I need to do this as a service. I need to create an agency. And I was working. Crazy thing is I was already heavy involved with Facebook ads at the time. I went to go work for this marketing company in Hollywood called TLK Fusion. I'm so cool. I'm so cool with the CEO Kevin and his whole fam. Actually, he's about to become a client of mine now, which is crazy. And then this guy gave me my first opportunity, and it was such a dope experience, man. I'm in Hollywood. I just moved there from San Diego, and I needed a job. When I went to this interview to become one of their Facebook media buyers, they had it was 8 other people there. I'm the only black kid, right? Everyone's graduated from college. This one guy was old as hell, and he was partner of a team from UC Irvine that helped build up some backup camera thing for cars. It was some
crazy shit.
everyone was way above me, and I was like, damn, there's no way I'm gonna get this job. Like they're looking at me like this guy barely done a few like Shopify ads, and somebody just told me like, you know what, just wait. So I waited for everyone to leave after the interview, and I went up to the CEO Kevin and his business partner, and I was like, look, I just moved here, and I'm willing to work for you guys for free for 3 months. Just give me a chance so I can show you guys what I'm able to do. I'm telling you, bro, before I got to my car to leave, they sent me a text like, hey, can you start Monday?
Man, that's what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm saying? And I had another job backed up already, like that was like part-time, and I knew I could do both at the same time. It was a very similar experience as well. I was like a marketing manager and consultant for a magazine company called Locale Magazine based in Orange County, but they had sections. They had a LA. They needed someone for LA rep, and they needed an Orange County, San Diego rep. And I told them, because I'm listening to my hustle, I'm like, I'll do every location you guys need. Like I got a car. I could drive from LA, Orange County, San Diego, wherever you guys need me for these events, stuff like that. I'll be there. And when they told me that, man, I remember my first day. I come in. This is when Dash was just like probably in its last like year with Dash as a story, like the Kardashians owned or whatever. I see I can't think of them Chrissy, whatever her name, the mom of the Kardashians.
Yeah.
He's like buddy with them. So like she was in there, and I'm just like walking by, seeing the conversation. I'm like, man, this dude, he's like really friends with all these people, and it was just a cool experience. I'm just seeing every day like meetings, because he was also getting people. He was selling not just like ads to his agency, but he was doing like Wendy Williams, like those talk show. Like he'll put those collaborations to get people booked onto those shows or their products onto certain shows.
Oh, that's dope.
Like Ella Jenner and all that stuff. It was a really interesting process. He had the connections. It was really some Hollywood shit, you know. So it was cool to like be in there and see that. But I was just working on Facebook ad campaigns really, and what ended up happening is that someone that was out for Google ads, they weren't there, and I don't know if they quit or what, but they're like, we need someone to like help with these Google ad accounts. So I started looking at the accounts, and I'm seeing like huge numbers. I'm seeing like millions of dollars, and I never even thought to myself like Google. Like I wasn't even thinking like this is the number one search engine. Like everyone goes. It's like it's integrated with most phones and everything. So I'm looking at this, and I'm like seeing these huge numbers. I'm seeing like, I don't know how, but a lot of times people don't know like these big 500 companies, like Fortune companies, like the big ones, they outsource to a lot of agencies. Some of them will have, 10 to 15 different agencies working for them.
And these are
big companies. So like they're spending they'll spend $1 million with this agency, another $1 million with that agency, another $1 million, because they want as much creatives and different ads going as possible. So I'm seeing these companies, and I'm like, dude, why have I never? So when I started going back on Shopify, I started looking at Google ads, because I had to help. I volunteered to help out with these ad campaigns, but I didn't know nothing. So I started searching everything about Google ads. I'm reading all these different blogs. I'm watching all these different videos on YouTube, and I found this kid who like lived near me, named Art, and he was like doing Google ads as well. And I was like, dude, I'm super into Google ads. Like I know this shit works. I'm like, bro, I've seen huge numbers on this thing, like bigger than I've seen on Facebook. Like I know this works. And he knew it worked. He had like blew up a store.
Bigger than you've seen on Facebook. That's a big statement.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was seeing like 20 mil, 50 mil conversion, stuff like that off of Google. And these were for like big brands. So like they have the search volume there on top of it. So they're picking back off their brand name and all that and certain keywords. And this was back in the day when like you were able to like use like keywords a lot more. It was a lot easier. Just using like, like a single keyword, product keyword. That could be black phone case. Those were like just doing numbers, because there was so much search volume, like crazy. And so I've linked up with this kid, and we started a little business project here, like a Shopify store, only doing Google ads, and we ran that store up to $1 million just off of Google ads.
Get the fuck out of here.
Just off Google ads.
You the first person I met who said they ran a Shopify store up to $1 million off of Google ads. You're the first person to sit in my face and say that shit.
Real?
Yes, bro.
So, and I'll tell you how it happened, man. Just through Google Ads, we're using the keywords. We were piggybacking. This is at the time when like everyone was like using like selling like we'll call it like fake AirPods, right? They're not really fake AirPods. They're just they're just they're Bluetooth headphones. We use all different keywords you could think of. Bluetooth earphones.
Right.
Would use what's some other wireless headphones. Like we're using every keyword you could think of, but the search volume on there was massive. So we got to a point where we were even beating on Apple for their own search term for their AirPods. So imagine getting like all that traffic. Of course, we got a cease and desist after like like it took like 3-6 months for it to like really like affect us. because we'd have to stop it. That store would probably have a cease and desist to make a new URL, make a new page, and all that. So it happened. But the cool thing about it, that it was such a learning phase, because we made a lot of money just off Google Ads, and we ran Facebook ads as well. We only did like some small number, like maybe like 5, maybe 10K tops off Facebook ads, because we really were trying to like let people know, like, yeah, we're the Google guys, like, you know, like this is what we do. And that from there is turned into, like, we started doing freelance services for people. You know, like people, everyone's like, hey, when you Google ads, and then from there I was like, you know, I need to.
So let's back up. Yeah. How did people start finding out about you doing Google? So, all right, let's back up. You were working for a company, okay? This is where you learned your skill sets. You launch a store, you run Google ads, you scale that to 1 million, and then you start trying to get, so like what happens from there? Because, I mean, like, I know, and we're going to get to it. I mean, we're going to, like, I'm definitely going to talk about your agency. You scaled that shit to 8 figures. But, like, yeah, bro, like, is this the beginning phases of your agency?
You know what, this kind of was. I started, like, a couple other agencies before then. So first, when I started my agency, I only had VAs. And, like, first it was me doing all the work, and I was like, I can't do this. Like, 20, 30 clients, bro, by yourself. Insane. Like, the customer service, I was always trying to be on top of that. I'm really big on that. Like, I try to, like, keep communication with everyone. Like, I can't stand when someone doesn't have good communication, or, like, they try to act like, people really try to act like they're so busy nowadays, which is crazy to me, you know?
Yeah.
And really, they're just scrolling on social media. No matter how busy someone is, trust me, they're on social media.
For sure.
That's a given. But I was really big on that. But also, I had to do my sales. I had to do the actual media buying, set up the campaigns, fix the landing pages. I did everything. I was like, I can't do this. So I started hiring VAs, and I had all it took was 3 clients to be like, hey, why did someone log into my account from India? And I'm like, trying to explain it to them, and I just didn't like having to be like, look, this is my VA that works for me. This is where they're located. And they just said, it was just an awkward thing. And I was like, I can't. I was like, this can't happen. This has to change.
I feel you.
So I'm looking for different ways of how can I build this out in-house by myself, whatever. And I'm thinking, like, all right, it's gonna cost this much money. I don't want to spend that much on this. There has to be some other way. And I found, I reached out to my partner, Mike, at the time. And I was like, you guys have like a SEO agency and stuff like that. And I have about like 7 figures right now worth of clients for social media, marketing, ads, this and that. I was like, is there any way we could collab, partner up?
Hang on. Let's back up. How did you tell me about the process of you getting to 6 figures with your agency.
Okay. So when I first started, this was during like the Instagram. This is like when Shopify and stuff like that was like really, really trending at the time, right?
So give me like a time frame on this.
This is like, to say between 2017 to like 2016, 2019 is like the time frame.
Gotcha. Okay.
So Shopify is really, 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 really viral, trending at this time, right? Right now you see it's like credit, and all this other stuff, right? It's like viral and stuff like that right now. So I was going into a lot of different like groups on Facebook groups. Are there influencers that were in the space, collabing with them, having them like, you know, shout me out, stuff like that. Kind of similar to what I'm doing now still, because it's like a lot of referrals. A lot of clients came through referrals. And that's how we are today still. Like a lot of clients come through referrals. Just better relationships. And I was just getting clients, and I was speaking on other people's podcasts. I was speaking in other people's like, you know, courses or their speaking events. And I was getting like that credibility from there, plus showing like the facts and also like the data. People love that. And also with my boy Jet Set, he had like this kid was crushing at the time, man. Like, and he's coming back because I don't think anyone works as hard as this kid. He's kind of crazy.
Man, Jet Set.
He's crazy. He has a crazy work ethic, and it was sad to see him go through that. But the fact that you
talking about all that bullshit.
He went through some BS.
I remember that shit, bro. Like he was killing it. It looked like he was, bro.
Yeah,
at least, dog. Like,
he was.
I mean, like, bro, like he looked private jets everywhere, nigga jumping off of fucking mountains. He
was like the young, like he was the one, bro. Everyone that's big now, I guarantee they followed him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
He was. I'm thankful for him because he gave me, you know, opportunity. I made a lot of money because of him, because a lot of people came as referrals just based off of him, you know, and he kept it real cool with me. He's a young kid, man. Dude's like fucking young as hell. Like, I don't think he's even 23 yet. You know what I'm saying?
Now?
I was with him on his birthday in Vegas when he turned 21, and he turned 21 making $500,000. Like, just like that. And we're like in this suite in Vegas. I'm like shooting hoops. Like, I'm over here playing hoops in this big ass suite. Like, this suite had a basketball court in it. It was dope as fuck. Full basketball court. Beds were in the court. Crazy room. He gave me my own room. I was like, dude, why are you like being so like nice to me? He was like, man, I just fuck with you, man. Like, you're just cool, humble, like you're chilling. I was like,
that's real.
But yeah, I'm like, bro, like you really fuck with me. We only know each other for like 3 months. And he was just like, nah, man, I could tell, man. It's like everyone just like says that you're just like down to earth and cool. It's like, I mean, that's just how I am, man. No matter what, you know, that's just, you know, and you probably see how I am too. Like,
man,
I think I think it's just big to be like that. Cause I, to be honest, it might be selfish. I just treat everyone how I want to be treated.
As you
should. Know? So I don't like, and I can't stand, especially like, you know, it's funny. Cause I lived in LA when LA was popping, you know, before the pandemic happened. And I was the same way out there, and I used to see how people would act and move, and it was always like, you know, being in Miami, you kind of see the same similar things. I always call it the Drake phase. Like, some people acting like they Drake. Like, look at our homie Jordan. Like, I love Jordan. Jordan's like my best friend. Like, I'm so happy for this dude. Like, I'm gonna root for this guy forever. But super chill, humble, and he's really crushing it. Yeah. Like, Jordan's like really crushing it. Like, more than.
I mean, and when he walks in the room, his demeanor, you wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, and that's and me and him, we were just talking yesterday, and I was just telling him about that. I was like, we're gonna take this city over, like, because people are not gonna be used to someone that's just like good people that are really crushing it, and actually, like, you know, that's where you win
for sure, man, for sure.
And so. But yeah, but going on that tangent, like with Jet Set and everything like that, that's how I got a lot of clients, and then from there, other people that in his network started asking me to come on,
and
teach, and it was just bringing so much business to me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Man, your network, boy.
It's important, man. It's so important. Like, and just being a good person, like that is, you know, on top of it, plays into it a lot of it too. You know, like you know, just letting people know, like, you know, not just being it for the money. You know, so
exactly.
I could be making a lot more money, and I know that, but I'm thinking like so long term, you know, so long term with it.
So let's talk about the process getting from 6 figures to 7 figures, because I know that you were talking about, like, you had partnered with your partner with the SEO by that point of you being at 7. So like was it basically the same thing, just, you know, more word of mouth, more referrals, just ramping everything up?
Yeah. So with that, I knew like, hey, like I'm a good team player. So like I like being on, you know, having a good team is like big to me. And even like my partners are all like behind the scene. Like, they don't like to be on camera. Like, they're a little bit older. They've been in space even longer, and they like for me to be like, I'm the face of the company. So I was, you know, once I told him like the pitch, I was like, hey, like, this is how much I already have these clients right now that I'm gonna bring over to our new business. It's already gonna be around like 6-7 figures around there, fluctuating like $100,000 off type thing, depending if these few clients move with us or not. And because there was this nice system, they already had like a beautiful system already in place that I already loved. The energy, the synergies were already there, so it was a perfect match, you know. And they had an office already. I was like, we could just move this over. This is gonna be my investment into the business. I'm already bringing this much clients are gonna be, you know, the MRR, which is the monthly recurring revenue, is already high. I'm bringing this right now. So they loved it. I loved it. And this also was like, hey, this is gonna also separate us from other agencies or people that are just marketers, right? Because they're gonna see like a full real team.
For sure.
So instead of spending money on like lifestyle things like, you know, cars, jewelry, and all this stuff, I was like, we're gonna spend this on people. And that's what's going to be the validation for us. People are going to be like, oh, these guys actually have in-house marketing that are here in like 9 to 5. That costs us a Lambo. That costs us, you know, like, you know, you're paying all these people like, you know, yearly salaries. So I was like, this is what I'm going to do. It's going to keep me also, it's going to give me a different standpoint. It's going to look more legit compared to other people. And I feel like I'm also be taken more seriously.
For sure.
With this. So that's what we're doing, man. And we just recently moved into a bigger office. The office out there is so damn big, bro. I remember when we closed on it, and I'm looking. I was out here in Miami, so I wasn't able to like see like the first beginnings of it, and that's why I flew out recently because we just had moved over to the office. So I just wanted to get a feel and
check
some things
everything
there.
out.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this is it.
This is
Like,
it.
this is it. I know I'm gonna have to make some changes, so I was like, I got to make some changes. Probably either I'm gonna have to downsize in Miami, build up another spot. Because once I build, my whole goal is to build that office up, hit a certain number, you know, and then I'm gonna make one out here. Because I feel like right now, this could change, but as of right now, how I'm feeling is that Miami and Cali are the main places right now that I want to have headquarters in.
Yeah.
There's other places like Atlanta and Texas been interesting and they've been blowing up and a lot of people moving there, but for right now, I feel like these are the two places for now.
So let's talk about the process getting from 7 to 8 figures.
Ooh.
Like with your agency.
So that process came down to us obviously open up new services. So TikTok helped with that a lot. TikTok is I rave about TikTok. I tell people like this is the best app. Like this app is so entertaining. The ads are so native. The ads come out so organic. Your customers, everyone is there, and you can really like reach and talk to them with a better story and really relate to them on so many different levels. Whether it's serious, whether it's like a comedy level. Just something that's engaging. Like there's so many ways that you could like market on this where it doesn't look goofy. You know?
So what would you tell a couple people watching some advice on how to get their TikTok presence better?
Man, I don't want to even speak on it like that because I'm not like a TikTok expert, right? But I just know that it is really it comes down to like obviously like, you know, you always hear like you got to do a lot of content is key, and it's something relatable. Like people love the relatable stuff. That's what you see blows up the most, those the POV, right? Like that, like people love that. So you can even add that POV into your marketing type thing on there. And that's what blows up a lot. And obviously like the dances like that is just for brand awareness. So just the other day, because I like study a lot of the ads that I see on there, I'll go to the marketplace on there and just look at content based off keywords and everything. And like I saw Geico having like a TikTok on their ad, and they were like dancing in the office, you know, but it was just like, you want to save money on insurance, and they're just like hitting whatever they're hitting, you know. And I was like, that's cool to see like these companies that are so old school, like playing with the new game.
I mean, they got to
have to, right, or get lost, you know.
Facts. So I kind of cut you off asking about TikTok and shit. I was asking you how you like the process of scaling to 8 figures. And you pause at the I cut you off at the TikTok part.
Yeah, so that was part of the thing. Another big thing that we had to focus on was retention with the clients, right? So how not just having clients come to you just for like paid ads, but like, hey, how can we get these clients to almost look at us like their iCloud? So they have so much involved into this relationship that they don't want to leave us because we're bringing so much value to them, and also just like connection. So I added in there like email marketing, SMS marketing, stuff like that really pumps up. So not only are we doing really great ads, we're getting all this data. I mean, there's so much fall off there because like, not everyone's making sure their back end is actually converting for them. If through email marketing, good SMS, that's how you're able to get that 10% boost in conversion, which could be life-changing for a business, It can make them hit the revenue goals, the numbers that they're looking to hit. And also they see us doing so much, and really like I tell everyone now, it's like, I'm trying not to have anyone like be a client. I'm trying to look at them like as a partner. So that way people know like I'm your partner. So I have, hundreds of partners right now. And their business is my business. Like we handpick a lot of our clients, so we don't just take on anybody. So I feel like I have a bunch of businesses right now, because I'm involved in the back end. I see a lot of stuff that happens before everyone else does. And it's cool. And you learn a lot through because you see so many different businesses, different niches, whether it's a D2C brand or if it's a B2B brand. I'm seeing like the communication. I'm seeing the offers. I'm seeing what offers are really working for certain things and what's not. And pricing and all stuff. And so I'm just like constantly like feel like I'm in school learning.
That's another thing too. Like how much you learn. So like what... I mean, like, I feel like I'm always seeing you at different, like, networking events and you be outside, bro. Like, what? Yeah. What, I guess, like, I'm trying to figure the question. I'm free, but,
Yeah, no, go.
Yeah, so, how important do you think, like, building relationships and networking with people is? Like, and like, what are some skill sets for people who aren't good at, like, how would you tell them to... get over that shit, basically.
Yeah, man. I feel like for me personally, I feel like, you know, people are everything, you know? And when you're investing in people is important, and just learning from other people is important, because you can learn from everyone, you know, like everyone has like their own thing, you know, everyone's so unique, their own DNA. So it's like, I like to learn from other people. I like to be like, you know, I have this house all times, like sometimes it's good to be seen but not heard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's times to talk, but a lot of times, like, I like to let other people talk, because like they're gonna tell you a lot. You know, they're gonna tell you what they think on things, how they feeling. You know, they're gonna be selling you on something, and it might be beneficial for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just seeing someone have passion and stuff, like, and then something else is like, I like it. I don't know. I've always been like that. Like, I just love to connect with people, because that's like everything. Like, we met, like Jordan met, like, you connect with people and you never know how important that person is to you, you know,
Sure.
or who they're gonna be. So it's like really good to, like, you know, just be good to other people and let it play out, you know. Let it play out. Like, I have, like, there's not no real exact strategy to it.
So what like, so the goal, like, you've accomplished a lot, bro. Like, and it's a lot I know you've been through that you're not gonna talk about, bro. I'm not gonna ask you about, bro. What made you believe in yourself? Believe that you able to get to where you at, bro? Like, from where you came from.
Dude, honestly, I just always I really can't see it no other way. But I feel like I've always, like, I thought about that. I used to think about this with football. Like, it's very possible. I was like, if I just do this and I do that, and it's on me. And I've always had that thing is like, my friend's dad, his name's Anthony Yim. Shout out to Yim. His dad was someone that was, because my dad wasn't in my life, and my dad's crazy. My dad lives out here in Miami, but he's an old head. Like,
I ain't know that.
yeah, my dad lives out here in Miami. Like, I'm gonna have to pull up on him later today. Like, we barely have a relationship, but like, I'm cool with him. Like, I'm kind of like, I kind of seen it as like, you throw your son out into the woods, you know what I'm saying, like some like 300 shit, and let him come back. You know, that's kind of see it. So I have like, no, my mom did a great job raising me. She was so hardworking, and I got a lot of that from her, and she also believed in me too. But one of the things that my friend's dad also always say is like, hey, if you bust your ass and do everything that you need to do to get this done, if you don't make it, you won't feel bad. Because you know you did every single thing to do it, so you won't feel bad at all. And you know you gave it all. Now, if I'm just sitting on my ass, I'm using this excuse, using that excuse, this happened to me, and not doing anything about it, that's something I don't want. I don't want regret.
Right.
Because regret's like the scariest thing to me. And I think having that fear of regret is what makes me like just go hard and be like, no, like, it's just like, also, it's like, it seems like there's so many different ways, but this could be like a matrix, right? Or a simulation. Like, I feel like if you just do the things that you need to do to get to where you got to go, but do everything that you can possibly, right? It's going to happen, because you're putting so much energy and all this stuff towards it. It's going to happen some way, even for yourself.
For sure.
Like, would you imagine that you would have the friends that you have now, being never coming from, you know what I'm saying, like the gutter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell no, man, bro. Like, life was fucked up for a while, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Gonna lie. I mean, yeah, bro. I mean, I had to consciously remove people from my life, consciously isolate myself to elevate myself skill-wise and business-wise, where I can be of some type of value when I get the opportunity to even be in certain settings. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me at least, you know, like, I mean, the environments that I was in and the people I was associated with, I literally had to cut everybody off from around me, you know? So, I mean, to better myself for a minute. Right. So, I mean, I think doing that for 18 months, that's when I saw the biggest breakthrough, truthfully. I mean, like, after that grind, that's when that's when I took my first client to 100K. And then posting that on Instagram is what had Sam Jacobs end up DMing me. And he was hustling. I ain't mad at him.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't mad at him at all, because, I mean, shit, like, him DMing me changed my life. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know,
open up all these other doors probably. You know?
Seriously. He's like, bro, like, you know, like, I think you can do better than what you're doing, yada, yada, yada. You know, what's your number? I hopped on the phone with him. He's like, I got a mastermind, fly out to Miami, it's $2K. I'm like, I'm not sure if I need that, bro. I did like 30, 40 grand for my client last month. I'm thinking I'm big shit. He's like, yeah, bro, I did $1 million in November and another $1 million in December. Bro, I booked my flight.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's fire. Sam Jacobs, shout out to him, the hustler, man. Love that kid. He's always with energy. I'm like, dude, he always has that energy. It's hilarious. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, that's what, you know, it takes those steps, and even in that journey should never stop. You know, you doing that should never stop. That's how I am now. Like, I'm more so pressed and looking for like networking events than like anything else. Like, I have to get like, if someone wants me to go to a concert, like it has to they have to really try to sell me, like, because I'm like, dude, like, of course I love music. I love music. Like I love music. I love hearing beats, but I'm like, this is what is really more important to me right now. So I go out my way for events, like, more than anything.
For sure, for sure. Do you think that's been one of the biggest ways that you've been able to pull some clientele in?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest ways. I remember, so if I go back in time, I took like a marketing director position for this company that's out in San Diego called Dr. Multimedia. CEO of that's Ace Rogers. Like, he's a killer. And man, this dude gave me a beautiful office in La Jolla. Had a crazy view. Like, I'm telling you, it's like La Jolla. I don't know if you ever been to La Jolla in San Diego.
I ain't been to California
Bro.
since I was like 5 years old.
Okay, so it's in San Diego area. It's a really like prestigious area, beautiful. Just a picture, like, beautiful views with cliffs, with beach, and very expensive houses, right? Yeah. This guy gave me an office in this beautiful corporate building. I have videos of it stuff too. I can show you. It's like, I had fire view, and it was a great experience. This guy's a baller. I'm like with the CEO, and you know, it was a close relationship, and I was like able to learn a lot from him and see how hard, and his mindset, a conviction. Like, he knew, he set his mind on something, it was gonna happen. Like, there was no like, oh, maybe, might not. It was like, no, this is gonna happen. And that's what you gotta think. You see a lot of people that have that success, you think the same way. Like, I don't think I'm gonna fail. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, one way or the other.
I don't believe in I don't believe failure exists. You know, like, seriously, I learned that from like basketball. Seriously, I don't believe failure exists. Cause like, when you fuck up with something, you learn from it. If you don't learn from it, you're gonna fuck up again. And if you fuck up again, you're gonna learn from it. You know, eventually you're gonna learn from your fuck ups and get better. So how is it a fail?
Yeah, I agree with you. And I like, it's definitely something you want to do, like, take out of your mind, or just turn your perspective on it differently. You know, but what he used to do, why I brought him up, is because he used to send out his sales guys and sponsor events, buy like a table or whatever at these different events, and the sales team at these events would, they'll do like a quarter mil or so sales. And I was like, okay, so at events is where you guys are making a lot of clients, because they weren't running crazy ads. They brought me in to run ads, and I was looking at their previous ads. I was like, you guys are not spending that much, and it was all messed up. Tracking codes were off. Certain ads, that campaigns, that the keywords are off. There was wasted keywords in there that needed to be excluded, that weren't excluded. I was just looking at this like, yo, like,
this is a mess.
How are you guys doing these numbers? And he had a sales team. They had him going out to these events, sponsoring events, having a booth set up, and they were crushing it. Like, they were mainly focused on the medical industry, so chiropractors and plastic surgeons, all that sort of thing. They'll build out the website and run ads, do like a lead gen for them type thing.
Dope.
So when I saw him doing that, I was like, okay, like, I definitely need a sales team, and I also need to keep going to events. So I was like, that's what got me this far. And so now that's one of the things I'm prepping too. Is like, there's so much events coming on. So obviously having the capital to sponsor these events, because you'll make a return on investment back.
Oh, so you're putting up the bread and throwing these events.
No, not throwing the events, but at least sponsoring events.
Sponsoring
like, depending on certain events, stuff like that. The ones you get for free, of course, those are the best ones. You don't have to put any money up, but people do like having sponsorships on their events, because they need, the events costs to set up, whatever. So that's the way.
What's the benefit for you sponsoring events?
Man, the credibility, people seeing like, oh, like, this person